Hi everyone, Alex Johnson here with propertycolumn.com. Normally I don't do videos because I don't have enough time and I'm not very good at them. But I had a bit of free time today, and this particular topic relates to economics, which obviously relates to what I do. And so I thought I'd do a quick video. Everyone obviously knows all the problems that's been happening in Russia recently, especially since the MH17 incident, which has seen further sanctions imposed on Russia from USA and Europe, which has resulted in Putin taking the decision to put a ban on a list of agricultural imports as well as a list of raw materials that come from USA and Europe. And they're also considering putting a ban on European airlines that fly over Siberia on the way to Asia. So these measures, really, apart from the airline bans, don't really affect UK. They don't really have a big impact on us. They mainly affect countries like Poland and Holland. Polish send a lot of their pig meat over, and the Dutch send a lot of their fruit and vegetables over to Russia, and their export market to Russia is worth about 12 billion. In comparison, the UK export market to Russia is worth about 17 million for fish, 5 million for cheese, 5 million for coffee, as an example of our biggest exports we have to Russia. So just a drop in the ocean in comparison, really. On the other side of the fence, you have Russia's state-owned banks being cut from Europe's capital markets. Capital markets are medium to long-term wholesale investments for large institutions like banks and finance houses, so 6 months to year plus investments. And Russia's defence and energy firms will also no longer be able to import Western high-tech equipment, which they can use for Arctic oil exploration as well as for military purposes. So these sanctions have been going on for a while now, and all throughout Russia has been quite defiant in the face of them, and their foreign ministry describes them as being destructive and short-sighted. And I think they have a point, because what are sanctions? Sanctions are nothing more really than a breakdown of trade agreements, and they're the problem in the first place. Because when you develop a world, which we have done, which is built on economic relationships and trade agreements, then where we sell Russia our food and weapons, and we buy from Russia their gas, then when real problems start to occur, we can't resolve them properly, and that's whether it's in Russia, Gaza, or any other part of the world, because the relationships that we have with the countries are based on trade, and the trade is based on corporate will instead of the needs of the people. So the needs of the people become secondary, and I think these problems just continue, these disputes continue to escalate to the point where planes are being shot out of the sky. And not only that, but there's quite a lot of historic proof that sanctions don't work. One, they failed to dissuade Iran to discontinue their enriching of uranium. They also failed to dislodge North Korea's leaders, as well as putting a halt and rolling back their nuclear and missile programs. And they also haven't done any wonders for Syria's Assad regime. And talks have simply moved on to how much military support to provide to the rebels, because it's just getting worse over there. And so I'm not saying that sanctions don't work, because a big win for sanctions was, for example, the South Africa's brutal apartheid regime, and research suggests that 33%, so 1 out of every 3 sanctions imposed, are successful. Also, sanctions prove that the coerced state is willing to try a more peaceful method of negotiation first before taking a more direct approach. So I'm not saying that sanctions don't work, but I feel that, and it's my opinion, that the effectiveness of sanctions are very much in doubt, and that our naivety definitely shows and comes through when we face problems with these countries, because the way that we've built and developed our kind of corporate culture world is somewhat contrary to how sanctions operate. That's my thoughts on it, at least, and so I don't know what your thoughts are, but let me know, because it'll be interesting to see what other people think about it.